Football music.
No, I was doing the league music thing. Oh, whatever. Hello, me and mom.
And me.
And his mom too. CountDarth's mom too.
Hi.
Hi. Here casting.
We didn't do an intro last time.
We didn't do an intro last time. I tried to do an intro, but I was just ripping off the regular casters. We're here. There's no official English cast for the League of Legends of Japan for their pro scene, so we decided to take matters into our own hands and do it ourselves.
So obviously, two completely amateur casters.
Yes.
Tackle it.
Yes. Listen, that's how you do. That's how you start shit. You start shit out, and you're like a complete amateur at it, and then like by the end of the year, you're like an amateur with a year under his belt. That's just how things boil down to. What are the teams fighting today? It's Detonation Gaming and is Unsold Stuff or Jester?
Seventh Heaven.
Oh, that's completely not at all what I thought.
No. All
right, so
I assume they're just shit talking here.
People keep calling me like Japanese Doublelift, but that doesn't even make sense because Doublelift is already Asian. Gosh. You know, if we like keep saying racist stuff, we're never gonna get picked up by Rito.
Oh.
What? Do they actually? Oh yeah, we can just.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a joke there about some of the pro players.
Oh yeah, I suppose. But they're like the pro players don't like have a voice on stage. Like pro players get dinged a lot about the stuff that they do. Like for like in solo queue and stuff like that. So like I imagine that they're much more strict on their casters. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna go and OPGG these nerds, see if they're actually good. Detonation Gaming. Why is Detonation Gaming like BFM?
I don't know. Maybe it's a Japanese thing.
I don't get it. Wait, Shrimp joins? Wait, is Shrimp on BFM? Oh wait, no. Okay, so Shrimp left, actually. Is this the Shrimp that was on there? Holy shit.
Shrimp?
That was the Shrimp. The Shrimp was on DFM for, like, Spring Split.
Huh.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, he's a Korean import anyway.
Yeah, well. Alright, let's see here.
Currently, we have Steel and Vivid as the Korean imports for DFM.
I don't actually remember Vivid. I think it was before my time. Has he actually won any tournaments, or no?
And Savage and Rukinia are imports for Seventh Heaven.
I see. At least all these bands
and
are
I
pretty
can't imagine a
standard here.
wildcard region would be able to get their hands on like big name Korean imports.
That's true. The Korean imports would probably like the big name Korean imports would just be like, I like money, give me money, or a competitive chance, because like you know those Koreans are either gonna be like, give me money and a competitive chance. So
yeah, it looks like Vivid is only played in LJL.
Oh, I see. Wait, he has?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Started summer last year.
Oh. But he was on Sonic Boom Spenu, which is a Korean team. Wait, no, you're trolling. They're not actually picking Heimer. DFM's just trolling. However, the Kog'Maw pick is actually like really strange this early on, especially against the Ashe Arrow, unless there's like proper peel for Detonation Gaming. Alright, so Lulu would actually fit a lot better here. I feel like you could probably get Gragas over Lee Sin for protecting your Kog'Maw. Like,
Yeah.
we still need to see the top laner and the mid laner. They could get Gragas or Galio, or they could just be banned out completely. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
7th Heaven wants to just like go full single target damage here.
The problem with picking Kog'Maw early on is that the second you lock it in, the enemy team can draft around the entire rest of your team before they even see your picks.
Problem is that like, yeah. So I don't actually agree with the Rengar pick here because yes, it is a single target assassin, which is typically what you want to do against Kog'Maw. Problem is, once the laning phase is over, Kog'Maw can actually just outlive Rengar's damage if the supports are played around him well.
Rengar's also one of the easier assassins to peel against, I feel.
Yeah, kinda. Even though Rengar can cleanse the CC, I don't think he can actually cleanse like the damage reduction that Exhaust puts onto him.
What we could see, though, is maybe an Orianna pick.
Orianna would be good.
Team that with a tank Rengar,
Oh yeah.
which
But then again,
probably be more effective than a Rengar trying to assassinate the Kog'Maw against Lulu.
I think it's kind of curious trying to go for a Kog'Maw composition after like the Karma's already picked away from you. Okay, and so now that like 7th Heaven have like the premium shielding flexes from mid and support, I feel like that really limits Detonation Gaming's like what they want to do with the Kog'Maw comp. So like they have to jerry rig something else here. Like what else could they pick mid lane to support this playstyle?
Someone with CC to help peel. They already banned out Syndra though. They also banned out Shen and Galio, so two more picks that would help.
Oh god, you're right.
Their own comp. And they're locking the Ahri, so they want to have 2 damage threats. It looks like maybe Lulu is going to have the sole job of protecting Kog'Maw in this.
Alright, well, if Kog'Maw becomes a sizable threat, and they try to focus down Kog'Maw, and there's a Gragas, pretty standard pick. If everything else is taken away, this is just the next logical choice. So like, if they try to hard focus everything onto Kog'Maw, then Ahri's going to be able to try and flank around and actually still deal damage. And Ahri actually isn't like much of an assassin anymore. Like back in like season 5, tail end of season 6, she was played as like a pick assassin for all ins. But now she can like sort of dance around being a DPS-ish type of character. Like she still got pick and still has good single target damage, but that like requires a full rotation of spells and some extra auto attacks on somebody who's like got health.
Yeah, at this point she's more of a traditional mage with mobility.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just
No, it's not an assassin.
it's just more DPS-y than you would think. Feel like Kog'Maw would fit so much better into 7th Heaven's composition right now.
Yeah, first impressions, it feels like 7th Heaven outdrafted DFM.
Probably. What team does Odd One's brother, Maple Street, coach again?
I tried looking into that earlier and I couldn't find anything.
Maple Street 8. Let me go double check. He is now...
Yeah, his Gamepedia page says he's currently the sub AD for Renegades.
That doesn't sound right. Alright. So we've got Paz with Gragas in the top lane, Steel with Lee Sin in the jungle, Seros with Ahri in mid lane, Yutapon with Kog'Maw and the AD carry position, Vivid as Lulu in support, and on the side of 7th Heaven we've got Satori on Sejuani in the top lane, Savage with Rengar in the jungle, Brock playing Orianna mid, Ash's AD carry in Ricania, and support is playing Fitton in the Karma lane. That's how I nailed it, right?
Yeah, good job.
Alright, so he is the head coach of B3. Who is V3? Are they like a challenger team? Because I don't think they're on the current roster for like the main for like the main league for Japan.
I'm trying to find them. Info on wildcard teams is so hard to come by.
Feels bad, dude. Their Gamepedia doesn't even show like what their actual accounts are for like solo queues, so I can't go look them up on OPGG. And it doesn't like actually have like a lot of information on the players on like what they play in solo queue because like they're nobodies.
Well, we got early deep boards from DFM.
Pretty basic 5-star defense by Detonation. Meanwhile, 7th Heaven is playing a little bit back, trying to wait for Detonation to walk into their topside jungle, probably. There's a decent amount of damage that can come out of 7th Heaven's bottom lane, so Detonation actually have to like contest the bottom push a little bit for this.
Between Sedge and Ori, as well as the threat of the Rengar ult, 7th Heaven actually does have a very large amount of zone control.
They do have a lot of zone control, and they've also got like a really good pick. They've really got good pick on the side of their team. Curious thing though, we only see 2 Doran's rings in Doran's shields in this game. We've only like Satori decided to opt into Corruption Potion instead of Doran's shield in a Gragas lane. Which, I don't actually know what Sejuani's mana costs are in lane, and she already does like have a lot of damage mitigation from her passive, so it's not actually that much. So I guess there's really only a threat of Gragas shoving her under tower, so that she can't actually farm properly.
And this is 7-10, right?
They usually have it somewhere on the client. Yeah, it's from like 3 weeks ago, though.
It's true.
And by 3 weeks ago, I mean, probably 7-10. Haha. Where do you think the junglers are going to be showing up first?
I mean, obviously once Kog'Maw is gonna have the global taunt of being Kog'Maw early game.
I think the topside start from both of the junglers is going to lead them naturally down towards the bottom lane. So because of the early aggression that Lee Sin could present, Savage
does recall early though.
Probably to get like an item power spike so that he can go back to farming. Typically, like Rengar's early game clears got nerfed to the point where he's actually like fairly dangerous after his first clear, so he can't actually gank on after his level 3 or right
like
at level
5
3.
armor or something.
Yeah, they also like took away how much health he gains back from his like battle cry or something. Meanwhile, Lisa, good aggression out of Udapon. Another auto attack probably would have done it, but even if you tried to flash for it, flashes would have been predicted, shielded, and healed up. So, pressure to force them back
DFM did have some good early vision up there from their bot side, so it looks like they were also ready.
Paz might be getting ganked here.
Rengar wanted to try anything, but no. Savage has actually rotated up top.
Waiting patiently to go in, but they don't actually... They actually play that really poorly. I feel like Savage needed to go in first, and then Satori could follow up. Because I feel like minions were right there. Could he have not jumped to them? Maybe? If he can't jump to the minions, then he should have just walked up sooner before Satori.
I feel like Sejuani's kind of awkward to gank for, mostly because of how much setup her CC needs.
She doesn't really need a whole lot, though. Like, she just wants the fight to start. If the fight starts at any point, everything is fine after that. Like, as long as you can chase them down for a while, because, like, the way her passive works is that, like, allied melee minions, or allied melee champions will be able to proc her passive on people. It's like a Braum that you don't even need to, like, wait for him to set up.
Right.
So, like, the only thing Savage needed to do was get up there and start autoing. He didn't need to, like, jump onto him, even though that would have been really good. Udapon actually hasn't backed yet, so he's going to be recalling with a fat amount of gold, which is really good for Kog'Maw. And I feel like Ashe and Karma is a bit of a pressure lane, so it's good on Detonation to avoid a lot of that damage. Savage doesn't get taken out by the wards, but they probably can guess. It's like, alright, these camps are gone, so he's probably over there on Romp. Now they spot him out with a pink ward here. And I don't think Savage sees that the pink went down.
You also got vision on the second brush. So Savage is just going to waste a lot of time here.
What do casters do when they get hiccups while they're casting?
Drink water.
Okay.
Turn on push to talk.
CC difference is about 7 in favor of Udapon's Kog'Maw. A bit of a ward battle over here. But because Syros is leaning down on this side, Savage has to give it up. Fighting in the top lane, Paz goes with an all-in. Satori's able to get the stun out, and the grass proc. Shockwave comes out, but ultimate comes out of Fire Dash. What is it called again? I have to like start.
Spirit Rush?
Yeah, there we go. You play Ahri.
I do not.
Yeah.
So that was ult for flash trade, so
Pretty good in favor of Brock.
good positioning from 7th Heaven. How do you see this bot lane playing out? Because
I thought
neither of these ADCs really capitalize on aggression.
yeah, they like neither of them want to be okay, so Kog'Maw is going to be a little bit more pokey and aggressive in terms of auto attack trading, but Ashe is going to be a lot more punishing for mispositions and opportune moments. But you can see like all this massive damage coming out here, just actually able to solo him out. Yeah. So that's what I was actually talking about, that Kog'Maw like trades a lot harder than Ashe can. Because of just like his spell rotation is a lot more offensive. Ashe really only has 2-ish combat abilities that like actually are considered conventional abilities, because if you think about it, her Q is just an auto attack modifier and modifies how much damage is put out by her regular auto attacks. It's not really a lot more than her basic auto attacks. Her W is the only combat spell that she can like actually use. Her ultimate, she doesn't have that yet, so she's just there's nothing there.
Died with both flash and heal up, so I think he even he was surprised at the damage that came out from the Kog'Maw.
Feel like pro players should be able to estimate that damage. Maybe he had a little bit too much faith in his support. Maybe they mismanaged cooldowns. We'll never know. My visual novels never prepared me for this. Right, so we find that the Gragas is pushing the Sejuani under tower. She's actually down 20 CS, a little bit of trade of abilities and knockups, but it doesn't really matter that much. And
I don't see Sejuani being able to do much in this.
She's not going.
Triple Doran Drain Gragas is too strong, and all she has is a Ruby Crystal and a fucking Null Magic Mantle.
It's gonna be like okay-ish. I feel like if Sejuani is having mana problems, Triple Dorans is the way to go. I think she wanted to go like for early aggression so that she can like poke Gragas down with the burn effect, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because Gragas, like, he's got damage reduction and heal, so. Blue buff transfers for both mid laners. Syros is taking the scenic route, trying to spot out some wards, maybe get a little bit of pressure around here just by being Mia on the map. Double pink wards in the bush to fight Savage over Vision. 7th Headham's bottom lane rotate up to try and support Savage while he goes on his little pink ward genocide. Goes all in on Lee Sin, able to cancel a lot of his damage.
Ult comes out.
Good shit. He's not going to be able to... Wait, yeah, he can't do anything now. Good shockwave, catches Vivid back in.
Arrow snipes Lulu.
Wait, but Ari's just... Or Orianna's just gonna die now. 7th Heaven lose that so hard. CC from Paz is going to be able to chase them down, probably. Oh, but Ashe is going to refocus onto Ari to try and get a return kill if she's going to be going down. But now Satori gets baited into just suicide. That was so poorly played by Seventh Heaven.
That whole series of events was extremely messy by both
That was
sides.
NA as hell. Wait.
We're home.
Wait, but now it's just Japan as hell. Is this a reverse weeaboo situation where they're just like misplaying things completely? Because like the setup from Seventh Heaven to like walk up and support Savage as he goes to like clear pink wards is good, so that they can have like inside pressure on that. But the thing is that Savage just wasn't able to like do enough damage to the hugified Lee Sin. Like he calculated as like, all right, I've got exactly enough damage to kill Lee Sin. Oh fuck, he got hugified. I can't do it anymore.
This starts with him jumping onto Lee Sin. Bot lane's already coming up at this point. They get there before 7-7 bot lane gets there. Ult still catches out Lulu.
But that doesn't really matter. Oh, okay, well he dies, so that matters. So rotating Seventh Heaven's bottom lane up was really good. Problem is that
whiffs the flash body slam.
Oh, cool. There's just a gank in top lane now. Now Paz is dead, right? Damage reduction drops.
No flash. Should die here.
XD. So that's a really good. I wish we could see like what actually led up to top lane being ganked like that, but all the same, it's a good job. They're gonna be able to get a little bit of damage into this turret, but because Savage showed up top lane, Steel's gonna be able to solo the dragon out here. Strong single damage.
So it looks like they're gonna trade dragon for first tower.
Seros is gonna try and stop that, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit dicey, especially with all these minions here. They see him coming in, so they're leaning towards the bottom side. They could actually just take this tower. Cirrus is in a really bad position for this. TP's coming in towards bottom lane. Ashe Opponent drops out onto Lulu. Kog'Maw's getting focused down, but he's able to kill Ashe. And Seal is going to probably die to minions, but he's going to die to the Orianna regardless, so it doesn't matter. Really good by Detonation to get that series of kills. They're able to get...
dive bot.
Almost there by Brook. And Detonation Gaming is able to get Dragon and a tower out of it and some extra kills. So overall, considering the trade of top for Dragon, it's good for
first tower and a kill versus 2 kills and a tower and bot tower.
Yeah, really good. I feel like because of how well they were able to play that bottom lane, I think sending Syros to top lane to attempt to defend the tower is actually a better call than it looked at the beginning. Looking back here for a gank. Going to try and get an empowered Bola, misses it.
It's Ari with flash up. I don't think it's much is gonna happen there.
Still though, just because Ari has flash up doesn't mean you can't force her flash, so that just means that you get to force flashes and she won't be able to flash next time.
Or she'll just ult.
Then you just keep doing it. I don't know. They now send their abusive duo bottom lane up into top lane to try and shut down, or to try and get the top tower when Sejuani is already struggling against her solo laner. So this top tower should be falling rather soon, while Pez is able to defend the bottom tower by himself with triple Doran's Ring and base damages.
Galton has almost a full 30 CS over
Dear Lord. That, you can actually see like the Bork damage on full HP Satori. Are you excited for Corki to come back into the meta? Are you excited for like the actual magic penetration? People will build full AD and then Void Staff.
I mean, they already buy Sork boots, right?
They do buy Sork boots, but now we get more.
I look forward to playing him mid.
Same. Corki's like one of those AD carries that I can, like, or one of the few AD carries that I can play. I'm a top lane main. Alright, so we're backing up Syros because he's going to be a little bit overextended here in the mid lane. They're gonna go just hang towards the bottom side because they don't know where anybody is on 7th Heaven. Blue buff is gonna be transferred to Pez. Pretty good. Savage is clearing out wards in his topside jungle, able to keep the top tower safe. If there are no wards in a attempted dive, gets denied by the arrow.
DFM setting up vision bot lane. But there's not a lot for them to fight over here. I don't know why they're focusing so much effort down there.
Face when pushing on push to talk doesn't actually disable OBS catching my voice. Whoops.
Ha.
Utapon able to trade aggressively back with Satori. Oh my god, the flash to deny it!
The body block.
This is all Satori, go boy go. Ultimates are probably going to be coming out. CC from Vivid to
ult herself for the knockup.
Yeah, to keep him knocked up. Really good play by DFM's bottom lane to abuse Sejuani even more than she's already set behind.
7th Driven look like they're trying to group mid lane, but I don't see them making anything here, especially because they're in danger of getting collapsed on. DFM's going to continue pushing in top.
They should be able to get this tower rather quickly. There's nobody on the side of Heaven.
That thing's almost dead.
Alright, so Paz is actually... Paz gets a lot of MVP points for some of the... for Japan.
I see.
The first place... He's actually tied for first place with Evie from Rampage, so here's just a replay of that play. Knockup from Lulu is able to keep Satori in place while the ultimate lands, so that there's no chance for that, making sure that the bonus damage on the ultimate is able to land. Trying to look over at Rift Herald, but EFM gets spotted out by the Rengar ultimate, so they have to abandon that.
Rengar ult goes on cooldown.
Yeah, but that's like a rather short cooldown. It's like, how long? I don't know. It's a short cooldown. He's also got like 10 CDR, so it should be pretty good for him.
Two Infernal Drakes. I feel like 7th Heaven has to, at the very least, contest this, or they're in a lot of danger of this game just running away from them.
Yeah, that's about right. The Kog'Maw's damage is going to be so huge that Sejuani's not going to be able to, like, even fight him unless she's able to, like, disable him.
Late game Kog'Maw is already the scary win condition that DFM is looking for, and if they can get ahead early on, that's...
Do you think there are fans of... Oh, Ash Arrow comes out, absolutely hits nothing. So you think,
yeah,
like,
they're just trying for something now.
You think NA fans who go to Japan to watch, like, pro games, and then they'll just, like, root for whatever team sounds closest to Team Solo Mid's chant? So they'll just be in stage and they'll just go like, DFM! 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 Oh god.
And I've heard TSM chants when
oh yeah, two Korean teams
are playing in Brazil.
God bless.
So anything can happen.
Well, somebody thought it was a good idea for Renegades and Dignitas to have their bundle of fun, dying a lot to minion camps. Anyways, oh god. DFM's able to get positioning onto this dragon. Satori is shoved in top lane, and they're
7th Heaven don't even...
They don't even try it. They're just like, you know what, we can't fight them right now, so we're just going to, like, farm the jungle, and we're not even going to risk it. They already, like, dropped their arrow, and the Rengar and Satori wasn't able to get there.
I feel like their Ash Arrow into Sejuani ult with the Ori combo. All of these things need to work together in order to win 7th Heaven the game.
Yeah. Because, let's see, right now, there are a lot of threats on the side of Detonation Gaming. Kog'Maw is massive. Ari is still a threat with her true damage. Lee Sin is pretty big here for the early game, all things considered, with the Phage and Warrior. And Gragas is just Gragas. He's got base damages and triple Dorans. So any fight that they had, like any use of their ultimates, it couldn't just be a wombo onto a single target. They would have to like layer it out onto the people who needed it at the precise timings that was required. And the thing is that like 7th Heaven, they need to be able to like be close enough to each other to actually make good on these plays, but they also need to be wary of Detonation Gaming just out-rotating them around the map and keeping pressure on them. They need to stay together, but also like be apart.
And his vision control is going to play a huge part in getting 7th Heaven's comp to work well.
Yeah. There's only so much the Ashe with Blue Trinket can do. Wonder if AP Tank should be building Blade of the Ruin King certain matchups. I want to see Satori build a Blade of the Ruin King. So he can auto-attack Paz.
Why wouldn't he just go for Leandries, though?
Because Leandries is 2%. Oh, Paz is looking for an aggressive play here, but that's 4 people, Paz. You can't actually dive that Ashe yet.
Dive dead Ashe.
Nice. Because Leandri's Torment is up to 4% HP per second burn, whereas Blade of the Ruin King is like 8% per auto attack. So, yeah.
I don't think
I have to do the math on that for you.
I don't think.
Whoa! Big plays by Paz, doing absolutely nothing. That's gonna be actually pretty important. Like, if they were setting up to try and dive mid lane, that was like poorly executed. So now they're going to be losing out in that regard. But maybe they don't need to dive the tower if they just get rid of the tower. That's what they're going to be looking to do. Paz tanks the Ashe ultimate. Lee Sin insects over Brock. And they get a clean kill and tower hit. Satyr is coming in from the ass. And they're able to just walk out safely. Really good by Detonation Gaming to just take down the tower and look for a fight. Being engaged by Steel to insect Brock into EFM. Recognizing that a lot of their AoE damage is going to be from the Orianna instead of Rengar or you know, Sejuani without any AP items.
And like honestly, DFM doesn't need to force anything fight wise. Like they just melt down the towers with Kog'Maw, and if 7th Heaven want to try and do anything, it's on to them to set it up well. Otherwise, as we just saw, is gonna get smacked around.
Pretty sure we're going to be seeing like a lot of Korean-esque style here from DFM, to where they just like stranglehold their
That was
opponent.
actually a really good kick.
It was really clean. I like that. But we're probably going to be seeing Detonation Gaming strangle 7th Heaven out of this game. It's going to be up to Detonation Gaming to actually fuck things up. And because they're just so much stronger in teamfights, they need to misplay something. Like, a cooldown needs to be horribly misused. Like, several cooldowns need to be horribly misused. Gragas needs to flub his belly flop and ultimate. Lee Sin needs to not get a good kick off. Seros needs to miss charm, and Yutapon needs to be out of position. These things need to like happen in a way that 7th Heaven is able to punish them. They want to be able to Ashe Arrow the Kog'Maw. They want to be able to Shockwave Ahri and Kog'Maw together, and Satori should just be able to peel for his damage carries. And Savage is Rengar, and he's useless.
And 7th Heaven could try and fish for picks, but the nature of a Kog'Maw comp has them all more or less grouped up anyway.
Yeah. Even though this is like sort of the most ghetto Kog'Maw comp ever.
It is.
But who needs CC and protection when the enemy team is just dead? Checking out in the top lane, which is now the bottom lane. Satori is coming out with the Sunfire Cape and Spectre's Cowl. Meanwhile, Paz has a Frozen Heart and Spirit Visage. The value that Pez gets out of his damage reduction is probably going, and regeneration is probably going to be a lot more significant than Satori's items that have more HP. Also, the value that Gragas gets just out of being able to cast more abilities with his cooldowns means that he's going to be more impactful in general. Steel's able to sneak over a dragon, though it's not really sneaking if they never actually come to check. Like, can you say that you snuck up, like you stole a famous piece of art if there just aren't any guards or security systems? Like, yeah, technically, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's just sort of there for the taking. Blue buff is up for 7th Heaven. I wonder if they're going to be able to put that onto the Orianna. Or if they're... Oh, they've got wards there, so they should be fine. They've got Sidetrack to be able to go there. This Kog'Maw is huge right now.
Orianna is the only one on 7th Heaven that has anything above his counterpart. He's been leading in CS for most of the game, and he also has an extra kill. If 7th Heaven want to make anything happen, it's probably going to be on the back of Orianna, so it behooves DFM to take her out as many times as they can in these fights.
Good point. Considering, like, her AoE damage is really the only threat onto their team. Who would you say is the MVP for Detonation Gaming right now? Because, yes, the Kog'Maw has a lot of really big, is really big right now, but I also feel like, I don't know.
Well, although we have seen a couple janky plays coming out of Paz, I feel like his Gragas has been a large part of why these scraps have been going as well as they have.
Being able to shut down
DFM
Satori
early on.
Being able to shut down Satori in the early game and open up the map in that regard for Udapon and Vivid to make plays, as well as being this big bouncer that he is certainly a help. So if Udapon doesn't get credit for being aggressive in lane, then probably it should be Pez. 7th Heaven is now setting up, or is trying to deny vision around Baron, recognizing that this is like part of the game where DFM is fairly strong. Gragas is super tanky, and Bork on Kog'Maw means that it would probably drop very quickly. Lulu's going to go and clear out that pink ward there, but Sonic Wave lands onto Savage just to zone him away from Vivid. They probably know that Rengar wants to recall. Oh, so he goes in, gets juked out by the pink ward. So Savage is able to see that they're here. Goes in on 3 people. Shockwave is able to get 2 people, goes back in. Hugify goes up. Double teleports coming in. So Torres gets cancelled so that he can stay in the bottom lane, but Pez decides, hey, fuck it, we'll do Baron while we're here. Aksha comes here, but Savage still has his ultimate to try and steal from it, but he's so low HP that he's not going to be able to do it. Like, the duration on his ultimate is going to time out before the Baron is even low enough for him to try and steal it.
And we just saw even another problem that 7th Heaven has, is that anyone that they do find out of position...
Looking for a fight here. Ash Arrow comes down onto Seros, gets cleansed out. Pez is able to zone people out. 7th Heaven are on the retreat. Sonic Wave has landed onto Savage. He might get followed in, but decides not to. And
yeah, anyone they do find caught out, or anyone they can grab a pick on, can get saved by the Lulu ult after the fact anyway.
Also, really important here is that Vivid has picked up a Mikhail's Crucible, an item that we don't see a whole lot, is going to be a big factor. So it wasn't Seros' cleanse, it was Lulu's Mikhail's Crucible that saved Seros from
But because Seros doesn't have cleanse.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, wait a second, Seros didn't take cleanse. Brock has cleanse.
What would you like? What would you like to have seen 7th Heaven do differently
I'd like to
avoid
have
this.
their AD carry recognize the damage output by a Kog'Maw and not just re-die. He loses a lot of pressure in that regards in the bottom lane. Probably missed an item power spike or two because he was only able to back on so much gold. Meanwhile, Kog'Maw gets to back with like 70 CS in his pocket on the first back. Meanwhile, he had to first back with 30. It's not really that favorable for him because of that death in the bottom lane. I really didn't like that. I kind of wanted the Ashe and Karma to be a little bit more abusive with their posture in the bottom lane so that he can get some more poke out, because Lulu can only shield so much and Kog'Maw has to heal things back up, and like while he does want to go and rush a Blade of the Ruin King, he's not going to have that in laning phase, which is when looking for a bushwhack, but Sonic Wave catches him out. So, like, the dual lane from 7th Heaven should be stronger than how it performed. Savage plays aggressively, goes into the Kog'Maw. Hugify comes out to keep him alive. Savage is just going to get whittled down by the Kog'Maw's damage, and they have to back out again. That's, like, a really big cooldown for 7th Heaven. Syros may be caught out here, but is unable to land any of the CC. Savage might actually has to just run back here, as the damage out of Syros is just a bit much. And because of the pressure from Syros onto Savage, they're able to get the bottom tower. Meanwhile, Gragas is still pushing in mid lane and looking for a scissor here to maybe look for a dive, but who needs dives when you can just take the tower? Really good play out of DFM to set up these two lanes to get free inhibs. Now with
at this point it's just textbook
Korean closing things out.
We have Dragon up and top lanes pushing in. They have their pick on whatever they want to take next.
And one of the Nexus towers are already so very, very low right now. So
Yeah, it's a Mountain Drake, as if to just rub salt into the wound.
I feel like it does, like Mountain Drake doesn't really matter a whole lot right now. Like, it could have been literally any dragon, and it would have just been... Any dragon at this point is just basically useless. I don't want to say, like, actually useless, but, like, at this point of the game, you're already so far ahead that...
I mean, the triple Infernal Drake hasn't
That's
helped,
the biggest one.
Hasn't helped 7th Heaven in any way.
Yeah. Damage output from Kog'Maw is just actually insane. Like, what's the damage buff from, triple Infernal? Is it like 20-30% bonus damage? Savage is looking for a play, but he's just being completely greedy, and he gets Insect back into his team while Udapon gets to whittle him down. Tries to ward hop on over onto a ward and is able to battle cry the CC out. They're able to kite out very well. Brock is going down. He's dead now. Steel goes in to try and re-engage for the damage. Going to be chasing Ricania. Waits for him to pass by the gate. Goes in. Flash comes in by Pez. Knockup. And they're just going to be able to dive this completely free. While Paz is a big beefy boy.
Yeah. DFM are currently enjoying 24% bonus AD and AP.
So, Blade of the Ruin King deals 8% max HP times 20%, so that's like 10%, right?
Well, no, it's not damage, it's just bonus attack damage and ability power.
Yeah,
the stats.
So Kog'Maw deals 10% HP.
That's okay.
Win comes out of Detonation Gaming, God bless. What else could have gone better? Feel like Sejuani going with Corruption Potion gave up a lot of lane pressure.
Rengar having really any impact in the game.
Rengar was useless. 9x.
Like, I get it.
It's like, oh, they got a Kog'Maw, guys. Let's abuse it really hard.
But if that's the direction you want to go, I feel like something like Kha'Zix would have had an easier time trying to get things to happen. At least in terms of getting onto the Kog'Maw and sticking to them.
Yeah. I think maybe a Galio would have been good for... Oh wait, no, Galio was banned that game. So I think another thing there is I think that 7th Heaven actually just juked themselves that game.
Yeah.
Like, Detonation... Oh, it's DetonatioN FocusMe. Oh! I thought it was Detonation Gaming.
I'm pretty sure their article on Leaguepedia says Detonation Gaming.
Oh. Oh, it is Detonation Gaming on the Leaguepedia. Alright, so what I was saying is, Detonation FocusMe, they baited in the Rengar pick with the early Kog'Maw when Karma is already down on the board and they don't have priority over the Orianna. So double picking the Kog'Maw and the Lulu baited Rengar in and all of that single target damage. Meanwhile, Detonation FocusMe were able to just get comfort picks that allowed them to abuse their lane and prevent that from It's like, you think we're going to be a single damage composition? Nah, just kidding. I mean, yes, he's going to do a lot of damage, but you better respect the rest of us, too.
Yeah, I still think DFM's comp was janky as hell.
But they made it work. They made it work, and they also made it clean.
Well, we have a game 2 to go.
Oh, yeah, like, regardless of how, like, the comp was constructed in the first draft, they still played it cleanly enough that, like, you could barely tell the difference. I'm stopping the recording now.
Okay.